Hello, friends, and welcome to Pathologic, Volume 1, Episode 20. Today we're going to be looking at a puzzle called Easy as ABC, and we'll figure out together if that is true. It looks like it is sort of a variant of a Latin square puzzle with a little bit more freedom involved in those rules. So we're going to dig into it together. And to do that, we're going to start by taking a look at the rules. Easy as ABC is a puzzle where we will place letters from a given range into some cells in a grid so that each row and column contains each letter once. That's similar to a Latin square requirement we'd see in something like Sudoku, but as you'll see, the number of letters doesn't necessarily match the number of cells in rows and columns. So in this example, we have the range A through C, and it's a 4x4 grid, so there are some blanks. A clue outside the grid represents the first letters seen in the corresponding row or column from that direction. So again, from the example, we see what that means is this A clue says that the first clue encountered in that column is an A. This B says the first B in this row is, or the first letter in this row is a B. And the direction is important. So this C clue on the right is referring to this row as this row, but from right to left rather than left to right. Those are all of the rules to Easy as ABC. So it's time to solve a puzzle. Today's Easy as ABC puzzle comes to us from Freddie Hand. All right, so first off, let's note the range of letters. We are adding letters from A to C in this puzzle, but it is a 5x5, so we're going to end up with 2 blank cells in every row and column. All right, so some things I can see right off the bat. I'm going to look for the same letter appearing in a row and column near each other. So, for example, this A and this A tell me something. So, this A right here, since A has to be the first letter, and there are 3 different letters to fit here, A could be in any of those cells, but couldn't be in the last 2 cells. And since A is the first letter we're going to encounter in this column, this couldn't possibly be a letter at all. Because if it was a letter other than A, we would have broken this clue. And if it is an A, we've broken this clue. And it looks like we're going to have the same thing in this first column and the last row, because there's another A clue here. And the same thing happens. This A must be at most this far down. It can't be in the last 2. So this cell can't be anything, or it will break one clue or the other. It looks like I can do a little bit more work with this clue, because now the first place it can land, it can't be in this cell, we just proved. It also can't be in this cell, because that would break this B clue, because B would not be the first letter in this column from the bottom. So A must be at least here, and in fact that's the last place it can be. So this is nothing. This is an A, and we've got B and C in these last 2 cells in some order, but this clue tells us the order, because the first thing encountered in this column other than blanks has to be a B, and since we know this isn't blank, it is a B, and this one must be the C. So we've got the bottom row taken care of. Unfortunately, when you do something like that, we've now used everything we can get out of this B clue, so that's not going to be helpful to us anymore. So let's figure out what that has given us. Well, one thing I see is now in the first column, we only have 3 empty spaces now. So it's kind of like what we just did down here. These 3 spaces have to start with an A because of this clue here. And then we got a B and C left. Neither of these is empty, so this cell here in order to satisfy this C clue has to be the C, and this has to be the B. Okay, what can we do next? Let's think about, let's see, this A clue could be in either of these first two at the moment. If it's in the first one, then the second one needs to be empty. So A is going to be in one of these two, but there are no other letters in the first of these two. So these two, I'm going to mark that these are B and C, and that A is in one of these two, and I don't think we know which one yet. Let's see. We need, where else do we need A to go? In rows 3 and 4, we need A's, and they can be in a bunch of different cells. That doesn't seem very helpful. We're going to need a C before anything else. It can't go here because we've already got a C in that column. Can't go here because it'd be too late. So C is in one of these two. Is one of those a problem, is my question. If it were here, we could still do C, B, A, I think, without a problem. Okay, so that's not helpful. It's probably going to be something to do with the intersection of these two clues that I'm not quite seeing yet. Okay, this column. Here we got something. B has to be the first thing seen in this column from the bottom. So that eliminates this B that we penciled in here. So the order of these, we said these had to be B and C. The order has to be C here and B here. Okay, that's good. Now we need a B to be in one of these two cells to be the first thing, and this one rules out this cell. So this is the B. And where does the A go? It can't go here, so it goes there, and this is not a letter. That's good. Okay, so now we've got an A to put in this row. It's in one of those two, but not this one, because that would break this A clue up here. That would be too late. So we've got the A, A here. This one is not a letter. This one is not a letter. Okay, so we've got a C to put in one of these two slots. Get this out of the way. We have a C to put in one of these two slots in order to finish our C's. Got this X-wing pattern. If the C were here, it would be too late for this clue. So this C is here. That takes these out, turns this into a C. We have finished up this column, finished up this row. We finished up this column. Now all that's left is to finish this one up with an A, satisfying both of these two clues. And this one gets the B. And that is all the cells accounted for, so we'll check our answer. And that is how you solve an easy as ABC. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and check out the description below for more free puzzles.